Hello, I'm Ray, with another ghostly tale for Halloween. I have a glass of port and lemon, and I have a doll with me. This doll's name is Abigail, but the story is about a doll named Gwendolyn. Angela used to visit her grandmother, and whenever she visited her, she would play with Gwendolyn, the doll. From the age of 2 years old, she would head straight for Gwendolyn whenever they visited her grandmother. By the time Angela was 5 or 6 years old, she was asking her grandmother, "Can I take the doll home? Can I take Gwendolyn home?" And her grandmother said, No. Gwendolyn stays here. You are not taking her home." The years passed. Angela was 8, 9, 10 years old. "Can I take Gwendolyn home?" "No, you are not taking Gwendolyn home. She stays here," her grandmother insisted. Sadly, Angela's grandfather passed away, leaving her grandmother alone in the house. That's when her grandmother started to say to Angela, "I chat to Gwendolyn. We have chats. She'll sit next to me in the evenings and we watch TV together. We discuss the programmes on the television." Angela just went along with it. She said, "Of course, grandmother, yes, of course, that's nice. I'm pleased that you're not alone now that granddad's gone. I'm pleased." Angela often visited her grandmother as Angela became a teenager, went into her teens, mid-teens, still visited her grandmother and still heard that the grandmother chatted to Gwendolyn. Although at times Angela felt like saying, look, Grandma, come on, it's a doll. You're not talking to a doll. The doll doesn't talk back. She didn't say that. She felt sorry for her grandmother. She was pleased that the old lady had at least someone, an invisible friend, if you like. You know, the invisible friend. Have you seen The Shining? "Hello, I'm Tony." Do you remember that? It was not an invisible friend because it was Gwendolyn the doll, but as Angela thought and often said to her mother and father, "You sure Grandma's all right? You know, she talks to this doll. Are you sure she's all right?" "She's fine," they assured her. "Yes, she's fine." The old lady became ill, gravely ill, and she said to Angela, who visited her regularly more than ever, she said, "I know you're saving to buy a house." Angela was in her late teens by this time. "I know you're saving for a deposit for a house, and I'm going to help you when I go. I will leave something for you." Angela said, No, I don't want to talk about that, Grandma. I don't want to talk about that. "I'm just saying," Grandma said, "I'm just saying that I'm going to leave something. I don't want you to worry." "I don't want to talk about it," Angela said. "You're not going anywhere. You're going to be here for years and years to come." Sadly, within a couple of weeks, the old lady passed away. Angela was understandably distraught. Her parents were very upset. The funeral, Angela couldn't bear it. She did it, but she couldn't bear the funeral. This was her grandmother. This was the lady that she had visited since she was a baby. The lady that she had loved for many, many years. And she'd now gone. The reading of the will left Angela disappointed. Disappointed because there was nothing left to her in the way of money to start her off in a house, buying a house, deposit for a mortgage. There was nothing. But Angela was also disappointed in herself for worrying about the money. Where's my money? She didn't want to think like that. She didn't want to think, Grandma said she'd leave me money. Where is it? I haven't got any. The house and the little money that the old lady did have, all her worldly goods, went to Angela's parents. The only thing left to Angela in the will was Gwendolyn. That was the only thing left to her. Angela's mother said, "Look, we're going to sell Grandma's house. We're going to sell it. We can pay off what's left of our mortgage. The roof needs repairing. There's quite a lot of money to spend, but we will make sure that you have something to go towards your deposit for your house to get a mortgage." Angela wasn't interested in that. She wanted to live at home. She wasn't interested in buying houses anymore. The loss of her grandmother had hit her hard. She placed Gwendolyn, Gwen as she sometimes called her, she placed her on her dressing table. Just to the left, she placed her there, to the left of the mirror. One evening she was brushing her hair, doing her makeup, ready to go out. "You're quiet," she said to Gwendolyn. "For someone who's supposed to have had long chats with my grandmother, you're very quiet. Cat got your tongue?" Gwendolyn didn't speak. She didn't move. "Come on," she said. "Tell me all about it. What have you been up to? All these years with my grandma. Let's have a chat. I'm off out this evening. I'm going out with Sally and Becky. It's Becky's birthday. She's 18 today and we're off out for a few drinks." The doll just sat there. When Angela got home later that evening, she got ready for bed and she said, "Good night, Gwen. See you in the morning." And she got into bed and went straight to sleep. The following morning, when she woke up, she looked around. She was going to say, "Good morning, Gwen." The doll was on the windowsill. And she thought, that's odd. Did I move the doll in the night? I didn't move her. And she said, "What are you doing over there, Gwendolyn? What are you doing? What have you gone over there for?" At breakfast, she said to her mother, "Did you move Gwen in the night? Did you come into my room and move Gwen?" And her mother said, "Well, no, hardly. Why would I move the doll? Of course not." A couple of days later, Angela got in from work, went up to her room, and Gwendolyn had moved again. She had been on the windowsill. She'd gone on to the dressing table. Angela put her back on the windowsill. "Stay there," she said. "I'm fed up with all this moving about. Stay there, do as you're told. Do you understand?" She sat at her dressing table and looked in the mirror at her reflection, and she said, "Well, why am I talking to a doll? What am I doing? I'm going mad. Talking to a doll." She looked over to the windowsill where Gwendolyn was. "I'm not talking to you anymore," she said. "I'm not talking to you anymore. You're just a doll." One night, Angela was woken by something. 5 o'clock in the morning. She heard something. She opened her eyes, looked around. The room was dark, except for her bedside clock, which was lit up. 5 o'clock. In the dark, in the shadows, there was something next to the clock. She switched her bedside light on. Gwendolyn was standing on her bedside table, only 2 feet away from Angela, staring at her, watching her. "This is crazy," Angela said. "Who's put you there? I didn't do it. What, am I sleepwalking or something? Am I going mad? Who put you there?" She stared at Gwendolyn, and she was sure that the doll's lips furled into a slight smile. "Oh no, I'm going mad," she said. "I'm going mad." She leapt out of bed, grabbed the doll, put it on the windowsill. "You stay there," she said. "Don't you move. You stay there." Angela didn't go back to sleep. At breakfast, her mother asked her what was wrong. "You look tired," she said. "You look worried. Are you okay?" "I'm fine," she said. "I'm fine." "It's not that doll, is it?" her mother said, knowingly. No, Angela said. "No, nothing to do with the doll. No, I just had a bad dream. That's all it was. I just had a bad dream. Nothing to do with Gwen." When Angela got home from work that evening, Gwendolyn was back on the bedside table. Angela went straight downstairs to her mother. "Have you been in my room? Have you moved that doll again?" she said. She was becoming agitated. "I've never moved the doll," her mother replied. "I've never moved the thing. I wish you hadn't got it, all this trouble it's causing. You sure you're not sleepwalking? You're not moving it yourself? The doll doesn't move itself. You must be moving it. Your dad hasn't moved it. He doesn't go into your room." Angela was more annoyed than afraid. She wasn't frightened of the doll. She'd known the doll since she was born. Since she was 2 years old, started playing with Gwendolyn. She took the doll, put it on her dressing table, got a piece of string, tied it round the doll's hand, and tied the other end of the string to the support of the mirror, one of the supports. "Move now," she said. "Come on, I defy you. Move now while I'm asleep." During the night, Angela woke with a start. She thought she'd heard something. She looked around. What was that? Glanced at the clock. 3 o'clock. 3 in the morning. What was it? Gwen was on the bedside table, watching her, staring at her. Angela grabbed the doll. "You're going," she said. "You are going. You are going tomorrow. I'm taking you to a charity shop. I will give you away. You're not staying here anymore." Then she thought she heard the doll speak. "My leg," the doll said. "My leg." "Your leg?" "I must be going mad," Angela said. "I must be going bonkers. What's the matter with your leg? What do you say, your leg?" "My leg," she heard again. She wasn't sure whether she was hearing this in her head or whether it was the doll speaking. The doll can't be speaking. She knew that. The noise, the sound, the voice was coming from the doll. Angela thought it was a nightmare. She got up and turned the main light on in the room. That's it. Everything is alight. Now I'm awake. I'm awake properly. She even pinched herself like you're supposed to do if you think you're dreaming. She sat on the bed with the doll, shook it. "What is the matter with you?" she said. And again she heard, "My leg." She lifted the doll's dress, looked at the legs. Now this was a rubber doll, not porcelain, a rubber type doll. And the legs were just pushed into the 2 holes in the body, the rubberish. Was it rubber? Some sort of rubbery substance. One of the legs popped out. You could just pop it back in again. She popped it out. "There's your leg," she said. "What's wrong with your leg?" She threw it on the bed, took the other leg off. "There's your other leg. What's wrong with that?" She stared at the doll. The doll smiled again. "This is crazy," Angela said. "You are definitely going. You're going in the dustbin tomorrow. Let alone the charity shop. You're going in the dustbin." She went to put one of the legs back in to the torso where there's the hole for the leg to fit into, and she saw a piece of cloth in there. She couldn't get it out. Went to a dressing table and got a pair of tweezers. Managed to pull out the little bit of cloth. It was velvet. She put the doll down. It was a small velvet bag, tied at the top. She opened it. Inside was a ring. What looked like a diamond ring. "What on earth is this?" she thought. "What on earth is that?" She looked at Gwendolyn. She picked her up, the legless doll. "What's this?" she said. Again the doll smiled. Its eyes smiled this time as well as its lips. Angela put the ring back in the little velvet bag and put it on her dressing table, her bedside table. She put the doll's legs back in place, adjusted the dress, and stood the doll on the windowsill. She couldn't go back to sleep. This was all too strange. Her mind, her thoughts were whirling round. What is this? What is this doll? What's this all about? She eventually went down to breakfast, having not slept since 3 o'clock. And she showed the ring to her mother. "Do you recognise that?" she said. Her mother took it. "No." "Very nice. Is that a diamond?" "That's a diamond. That's worth a lot of money. Look at the size of it. Where do you get it?" Angela hesitated and she said, "It was inside the doll's body." "What?" her mother said. "Inside the doll's body? What have you done? Cut it open?" "No, I pulled its leg off," Angela said. "I pulled both its legs off." "Why on earth did you do that? What did make you do that?" Her mother was worried now about Angela. She'd been worried about her for a long time. All this nonsense about dolls walking around and all this rubbish. "I think you better have a day off," she said. "You better have a day off, Angela. Have a week off work. Go to the doctor and tell him..." No, Angela said. No, listen. Gwen spoke to me." "That's it," her mum said. Her father had come into the kitchen as well. "That's enough, young lady," he said. "That's enough of this nonsense. I should have said something before. You're definitely having a week off work, as your mother said. You've got to relax. You've got to calm down. The doll spoke to me, Angela insisted. And inside the body, the doll said, my leg, I took the leg off. That ring was inside. How do you explain that? I don't know, her father said. I don't know. Let me see the ring. He looked at it. That's obviously worth a few quid, he said, unless that's glass or paste or whatever they call these fake diamonds. Angela went to work. She defied her parents. Stay at home, stay in bed, we'll call the doctor. No, she went to work. In her lunch hour, she went to a local jeweller and she said to him, what do you think of that ring? What do you think? He put his little eyeglass in and he looked. Wow, he said, it's a beautiful diamond. Is it real? Angela said. Oh yes, it's real enough. He said, yeah, that's a lovely example. That's real enough. He said, what are you, selling it, insuring it? She said, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. What's it worth? I'd say that's between 15 and 20,000 pounds, he said. Angela was stunned. 20,000? He said, well, let's say 15. Let's say 15. Not too sure. I'd certainly not take less than 15,000 for it if you're going to sell it. I can't buy it. Before you start asking me what I give you, I can't buy it. I'm only a small one-man business and at the moment I don't have that sort of money available. No, I'm not selling it, Angela said. Not at the moment. She thanked him and went to another jeweller down the road. He put his eyeglass in and looked at it. I'd say 16, 17,000. That confirmed it for her. The ring was worth a lot of money. Angela's mother said there was a possibility that the ring belonged to her grandmother, Angela's great-grandmother. She couldn't be sure. But she did say to Angela, your grandmother obviously wanted you to sell it. If she talked about you getting a house and she was going to help you, that's what this is all about. She put the ring inside Gwendolyn. Angela said, yes, that's all very well, but how did Gwendolyn tell me? She spoke. That was in your head, Angela's mother said. That must have been in your head. Dreams. Let's put it down to dreams. Angela eventually sold the ring and got a mortgage, put down a hefty deposit, got some furniture and moved into her own house. She wasn't alone. Gwendolyn moved in with her. On some lonely nights when Angela wasn't going out with friends, she'd sit there and watch television with Gwendolyn and they'd have a chat about the good old days when Angela was young and they used to play together. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy Halloween.